Recently, my neighbor Mike reacquired a Civic that he used to own. He told me about a coolant leak that it had, so I pulled it into the garage to investigate, and also looked over it to see what other maintenance it might need. So today I'll start work on it and discover another issue. So I pulled the Civic into the garage to go ahead and knock out the oil change, drain the coolant, replace the thermostat, and see why it's leaking. And this is the first time I'm doing work on the left side of the garage pretty much since I've been in this house. So we'll see how it goes. I don't have as much space as I'm used to, but I'm excited to be able to have two cars in here. Now that I think about it, I could have pulled it up onto the ramps. Just to be safe. Mike said everything was in the trunk. There we go. We got air filter, coolant, oil. What is this? Liquid moly engine treatment. New OEM Honda filter. Spark plugs. This is a thermostat gasket. So let's go ahead and knock this out. And I have 3 drain containers, and I'm gonna try and do better about separating the oil and the coolant. So in the small one there, I have oil. I'm gonna use this one for coolant so that when I go to dispose of them, I'm not getting rid of a mix of fluids. There's a cutout in the little undercarriage cover where I can access this thumb screw that'll drain the radiator. So I'm going to put the pan under it and see how big of a mess I make. But first I'm gonna crack the radiator cap real quick. Okay, now I'm gonna drain it. While that's draining, we can knock out the air filter. Clip here, supposed to be one here. And I think there's supposed to be one back there as well. So that is the old one. Let's see how dirty it is. Actually, this seems like a higher quality filter. Not bad, eh? And it fits nicely, nice and snug. Air filter done. So in the last video, this was a wet spot right below where the thermostat lives. So I'm gonna take this off and see if that shows me why it's leaking, because it does not seem to be coming from these tubes that go to the heater core. Double check again. Yeah, they're still dry. So I'm gonna take these off, see what's going on. Take off this hose just to make things a little easier to get to. Oh, this looks brand new. Remove this plug, and that ground is held in by that bolt. So there's a bolt with a 10mm head right up underneath this that I'm taking out. And that's what it looks like. And there's another one right here. This bolt should look exactly like the other one. Let's see, does it? Nope, the one at the top is longer. So don't forget that. Wait a minute, is there another bolt? There is another bolt that is underneath. I have to get that one out too. The 2 longer bolts are actually for the thermostat. The short one is for the ground. And there is the rest of the coolant coming out. Hopefully it's not much. That sounds like much. So this is brand new. At least it looks brand new. And I don't see why it would leak from this side. And I don't see why it would leak from that side either. Maybe it just wasn't tightened enough, because this gasket looks brand new as well. So it really seemed like the coolant was leaking out from under this. I can't tell why it would have been leaking, because for it to leak that badly, this surface would have had to have been terrible. And it doesn't look terrible because usually those gaskets are pretty forgiving. So I don't know if it was, maybe it just wasn't tightened enough. Again, it doesn't have to be that tight for that to seal. So I think I found the problem. After taking a closer look at the gasket, it doesn't look like it was seated properly. It looks like it was pinched here and there. And this is the section that seals it. So I don't know if it was folded under or folded out, but that definitely would cause a leak. Here's a better look at it. It looks like when it was installed, this section got folded so it wouldn't seal. And here is the new thermostat gasket made in Japan, where the car was made. So let's take it out and see if it's a good fit, and we'll just throw it back on. And Wyatt and Chris actually came to hang out while we were working on it. Yeah. All right, Wyatt, tell me if it looks like this one. Like it was the same size and everything? Yeah. But it looks better, right? Yeah. Does it look like it has any pinches or no malformities? Or was it disformity? What's the word? Disformities. It looks fine. Yeah. Wyatt says it looks fine, so if it leaks, it's your fault, Wyatt.
You see,
all right,
then I can just blame it on Chris afterwards.
Uh-oh. I'm not trying to cause any issues. No. Okay, this one looks good. Yeah. Actually, it looks fantastic. So we'll just put this one in. So I'm going to take off this old pinched gasket and put on this new fresh one. I'm not replacing the thermostat because this is already a new thermostat. And there's a notch here for this, and it goes like this. And the smooth side goes away from all the mechanisms because there are recesses on the engine side that receive this protrusion, if you will. So that looks good. Now let's just hope that I do a better job of installing it so that it doesn't leak. So that's the new gasket installed. Make sure this is dry and clean. And the manual says install it without sealant. So it is not going to get any sealant. And I'm installing it with the jiggle pin up. And I definitely want to make sure that it is fully seated and set and stays that way while I put the top back on. All right, now that looks like it's going to make a good seal. And there are two bolts that hold the outlet on, and one that is just for the ground. I'll get it there. Ah, they're finally going. Have them all the way tightened by hand. I'm just gonna snug them down with my little ratchet. The torque spec for these is around 7 foot-pounds. But you get a feel, a little more, and that is enough. So that should do it. And we'll know pretty quickly if it develops another leak. So I'm gonna put back on the ground, reconnect the sensor, and now the hose. Should be good to go. So now I can close the drain by twisting it in. It's nice they gave you this little opening. That should do it. Even though we have the internet now, I'm showing Wyatt how to look up spark plug gaps in this old Chilton manual and old Haynes manual. You found it?
Books are better than interwebs.
I agree. So in the front of that chapter should be the spark plug gaps. So in the front of the chapter, there was like all the engines. I showed them on the car where it tells you what type of engine it is.
D16Y7.
So what's the gap?
0.0392 to 0.043.
So these spark plugs need to be gapped at 0.04 inches, give or take. So let's see what we're at. Ooh, we are at about 0.045. So I'm going to make this gap a bit smaller. I much prefer this type of gap tool, and this one here is 0.4, and if they're the same, yeah, that's a bit too wide. So let's bend this gap in a little, just a little. I think that is good. That is right at 0.4. So I think that's good enough. I'm gonna do that on all of them. So next we're gonna take out the spark plugs because all of the new ones are gapped properly already. Let's start with this one. Let's see, is this deep enough? It is deep enough. Uh-oh, it's deep enough, but am I strong enough? I am not strong enough. So I'm using this, not because it's automatic, but because of the leverage. Ooh. It actually was just beyond how hard I was pulling it before. Spark plugs look old, but not that bad. Putting a little bit of anti-seize on the new plug. So there's anti-seize on it. Put it in my spark plug socket. And since these are a straight shot, they're very easy to put in. But a lot of times I'll use a tube on the end of the spark plug to minimize the chance that I'm cross-threading. I'm gonna put this hand tight and then go about a half turn. Hand tight plus, that's not quite half turn, but I'm gonna leave that there because I can feel the gasket is fully crushed. You can also just use a torque wrench, and it's around 20 foot-pounds for these. I think 18 to 21 is what it says. On to the next one. Let's see if I can take it out with this. There we go. So Chris just asked a good question. He said, if the old ones still work, why are we replacing it? So I told him, what we're doing is maintenance and not necessarily a repair. And I asked him, what's the difference between maintenance and a repair? And then he said,
I said that fixing something is just like fixing something that's like broken. So like you replace something that's broken. And maintenance is just like you replace something not because it's not working, but because you don't want it to randomly break on you. Like you while you're driving or something.
That's a pretty good explanation of it. That is a pretty good explanation of it. So I knocked out the rest of the spark plugs, and then we moved on to the leaking valve cover gasket. We also have new valve cover gaskets because if you look closely, this valve cover seems to be leaking. There may be other oil leaks, but this is one of the highest in terms of elevation on the engine. So let's see how much we can clean this off. And even though we just had these out and I left them in to keep them in order, they are numbered. We're going to take them out because we're going to replace the valve cover gasket. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the bolts that are holding down the valve cover are here, 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 and here. And we have to take this bracket off to release the throttle cable. The only other thing we have to remove is this tube that goes to the intake. So let's see if I can just go ahead and do that. Nice and easy. Set that aside, and I'll get the 10mm socket to remove everything else. So that's the throttle cable. I'm gonna put the bolt right back where it came from so that I don't lose it. And I'm going to, oh wow, that's already loose. No wonder. I just hope it's not stripped. Let's see, I don't remember if all these are the same length. Let's see. That's a short one, short one. Yeah, the ones in the back are long. See the difference? So those are the short ones, and the long ones go in the back. Now, I got it. What we need to check is to see if any of them are stripped. I'm gonna clean this up really good. And yes, it definitely was leaking a lot. There may be more leaks, but when we know there's a leak up top, we want to address it first. So I'm gonna take off all of this RTV that lives right here at this crack. That's a little more than I would have put on, but I guess it did its job for a while, and it's still doing its job because it's hard to get off. And my work is cut out for me even more over here, but a lot of it will come out in big chunks like that. You can have that and take it home if you want to.
Probably looks pretty dirty.
Yep. So here is the old gasket. And if people are using high quality engine oil and changing the oil frequently, this looks a lot better. Oh yeah, this one is not the worst I've seen, but it is not as pliable as new. I'd say this has been changed definitely since the car was new. These seal on those tubes that have the spark plugs in it. So I'm gonna take these out. Oh no, they're brittle. They are kind of brittle.
They do not want to be detached.
They don't. Yes, I'm going to pop them out from the other side. They're oily now, so I'm just gonna clean these out. And actually inside where the spark plug seals were, it's actually pretty clean. Only a few areas of oil, and that might have been from when I just flipped it over, you know? I'm gonna run this down the length of this, just in case there's any debris. Actually, there's only a little oil in there, which is hard for the oil to leak up and around. The part that's in there, it usually leaks between the gasket and the head. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Not to say that it can't happen, it's just that it's more likely to happen. All right, let's open up the new one. So this is the new gasket, and it should be held in if it's the right size. Yeah, there we go. And there should be 4 of these, and they go just like this. Now you can put a little bit of oil on the outside of these to make them go in a little easier, but they go in pretty easy already. Just press them in until they're flush. So this valve cover is now prepped with new spark plug tube seals and a new valve cover gasket. Before I put the RTV on the crack areas and before I put the valve cover back in, I am going to use a cleaner and clean this mating surface one more time. Make sure it's good and clean before I seal it up, hopefully for many years. Maybe when you drive, this car will still be around, which will be, what, 4 years?
I'm 11 now.
11, so 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years until I'm even able to drive this car.
Yep. So, remember when I was taking this one out and it was already loose? Well, it was stripped. So I'm gonna see if I have something to repair it with. Well, I did not have a thread repair kit on hand, so we had to take a break. But in the next video, I'll repair the threads on the head, refill the car with new coolant and oil, install the new valve cover gasket, and see if there are any other leaks. If you'd like to follow along, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take care.